Hey everybody, it's Rainy. Today I'm going to be making hot sauce, and this is a hot sauce that I just found on the internet. I think it's kind of Louisiana style. It's not fermented. It is the most easiest hot sauce recipe you'll ever make, but it is actually very good. So these are Fresno peppers. I grew these in my garden this year. I've said before in other videos that all I did was take seeds from a store-bought Fresno and then planted them, and it seemed to work, so that's awesome. Daniel really liked the hot sauce that we made from the Fresnos. They are a little bit too hot for me, but I think he really enjoys them. I think they're slightly less hot than a cayenne pepper. But I'm just going to wash these up, and then we'll get started with the rest of the recipe. Alright, so I have 1.5 pounds of Fresno peppers, and I'm just going to chop the tops off, and that's it. So the recipe is this simple. It's 1 pound of whatever pepper you want to use, 2 cups of vinegar, and a tablespoon of salt. Basically, you put all those ingredients into a saucepan, you heat it up to boiling, you boil it for about 5 minutes, and then you blend it, strain it, and boom, you got hot sauce. And you can just put that in the fridge. But today I'm going to actually preserve it, I'm going to can it. And also, Daniel actually likes it with a little bit of garlic, so I'm putting in, for that recipe I put in 3 cloves of garlic. And then I use some fresh cracked pepper. It's probably, I don't know, 1/4 teaspoon amount. And it is delicious. And I would encourage anybody to try it. It is fabulous. I was just buying the peppers from the store. So this is the first time making it with my own peppers. So that's amazing. So right now, I've got something else in the canner. You guys will see it in the video. It's the green salsa. The timer just went off for that one. So it's got to stay for 5 minutes. So all I did was just cut the top off, and then I'm just going to throw that into another bowl. And I might actually even put a little slice in it to kind of help the vinegar solution kind of get inside. It should get inside through the top, but sometimes this membrane is, oops, where are you at? Yeah, sometimes this membrane is so thick that, you know, it doesn't have holes for the vinegar solution to get in. So if I see that the top is that way, then I'll slice it. Oh, this one's already got a nice slice. This one had like a split in it, so I just cut it out. All right, I'm gonna get the tops cut off of all these, and then I'll bring you back. All right, everyone, I got my peppers in the pot. I've got, it's 1.5 pounds of peppers. I've got my 1.5 tablespoons of salt, my, I don't know, 4 or 5 cloves of garlic. I'm kind of cut up rough chop. You don't really have to do a fine chop because we're going to blend this later anyways. And then I have 3 cups of vinegar, white distilled vinegar. Oh, Dallin wants to show you something else here.
So there's a famous hot sauce, and it's got that tagline. We put that on everything, you know. She's gonna make a video of this jardinera. This is the stuff right here. I put this on everything. It's delicious, as you were.
All right. Anyway, so you're gonna bring this up to a boil, and then just let it cook for 5 minutes. I'll bring you back when it's done. All right, guys, we're up to a boil. So I'm gonna set the timer for 5 minutes. Okay, I just turned the heat off. They boiled for 5 minutes, and now I'm gonna put them through my NutriBullet. It does a really good job of breaking down all of the seeds. I'll show you that in just a second. All right, let's get the peppers into the blender. So again, this is just the peppers, the vinegar, and the garlic. And we're going to just do this in batches. I left the seeds in, try to help make this be as spicy as possible. Daniel likes the spice. Ooh, oh man, that's like liquid gold. Okay, let's get this top on. Now that I got it, some of it blended up, the next thing you're going to do is put it through a strainer. Okay. And you're going to use something like this or whatever to just kind of, whoa, that's not what we want to do. Kind of hard to do this one-handed. Okay. So you're just going to do something like this to kind of filter it through, to kind of keep the hot sauce going through. All right, and when I get this, the rest of this all blended up and strained, I'll bring it back, or bring you back, sorry, and we will start putting it into the cans, or jars, I should say. Okay, so I'm about to pour in the last bit of the stuff I blended. So I was just gonna show you a little bit about how you do this. So you're just kind of basically scrubbing the bottom or scraping the bottom. You can just see it just really quickly goes through the strainer, and what you'll be left with is just, you know, a little bit of the pulp, the skin, the seeds. It doesn't take very long to really get through this strainer. I have my jars heated up in my steamer next to me. I already sterilized them, meaning they got boiled for 10 minutes. I should mention, by the way, that when you're chopping up the chilies, it's a good idea to use gloves. I just wash my hands a lot. It doesn't really cause me any problems, but when I first started doing this, I did wear gloves a lot, because, you know, sometimes if you scratch your face or rub your eye or something like that, you know, you're going to be hurting for hours. So just be careful. So now you can just see I'm just kind of scrubbing the bottom like this. And if you've ever taken the seeds out of jam or anything like that, it's very similar. Luckily, I now have a food mill that I can put all my berries and stuff through and tomatoes to de-seed, but this is not enough to try to put that whole thing together. But you can see here, basically just all the pulp and ground up seeds and skin that just can't get blended up enough. Let me finish this and then we'll start canning it up. All right, so this is when I put the black pepper in, and oh no, it's probably, I'd say, 1/4 teaspoon. Let's see, looking for something to stir it up. Here we go. That's good. So it's probably time now to have Daniel come in as a guest star and taste this. So when we come back, we'll see what he thinks. All right, Daniel's here to try out the hot sauce.
Color looks nice. Just gonna go right in here and take it naked. The thing about this hot sauce is, well, the quality of the peppers that we grow ourselves is you get a fruity bite, and then the heat goes around your tongue, and it's just absolutely amazing. It's not.
Sorry, guys.
I
The
love
peppers
hot,
are getting to me.
I love hot sauce, and this is not blow your doors off kind of deal. But you know, something like find it hot. You put this in your noodles, on your eggs, and all that stuff. It's gonna be good stuff, and it's delicious.
My eyes are burning. Thank you, Dal. All right, now that I'm over my coughing fit from the hot sauce, man, I hope you could hear Daniel talking. I was trying so hard not to cough. All right, so now we're just gonna ladle this in. Technically, I think you can go to a 1/4 inch head space, but I'm gonna just go to a 1/2 inch. I wouldn't dare even actually try this hot sauce. It would take me like half the day to recover. So the jars are heated up. The hot sauce is pretty hot. I mean, basically you want your jar to be close to the temperature of what you're going to be putting into it. This is my first time actually, well, just like most of my stuff, this is my first time canning it. Ooh, that's way too full. I'll have to go back and get that done. All right, so let me finish this up. I got one more jar down here, and I'll bring you back when I get them all ready. All right, guys, so I got everything moved around here. They're all at about 1/2 inch, maybe slightly less. I already debubbled it. Debubbling is basically just kind of pressing down, stirring it, trying to get all the bubbles out, basically all the air. Okay. And now I'm going to take a little bit of vinegar, clean the rims. All right, so then I've got some lids and rings back here in boiling water. Finger tight. Put it in my steam canner. We're going to process these for 10 minutes. All right, I'll bring you back when I get them all in there. All right, got them all in the steam canner. Got the temperature set up high. We'll have to wait until the gauge comes up to my mark. You guys can see my little black mark right there. All right, so the gauge has made it to my mark. I'm gonna start the timer for 10 minutes. Okay, the timer has gone off. That was 10 minutes processing time plus 5 minutes with the heat off. That's part of the processing time for steam canning. So let's take them out. Very cool. So sometimes it'll separate even when you have it in the fridge, the pepper from the liquid. And you're just gonna shake it. If you shake it a couple times and then it seems to stay blended after that. Ooh. All right, everyone. Louisiana style hot sauce. This has been Daniel's favorite so far that I have made. These are with our homemade, or not our homemade, our homegrown Fresno peppers. And I'm gonna take Daniel's word for it that it's delicious because, again, like I said before, this stuff is hotter than Hades to me. As always, be kind and wander well.